Today I was explaining how it happens. That how we realize that God is helping us. Any problem is an effect of some sort of a cause. Every problem. Like Mona wrote a letter that she was driving in a motorway and the car went out of control and the brake would not act. And there was a car coming from the right, car coming from the left, cars going in front and behind. And she felt that they will be finished. Two of them were traveling to surgery. So the cause was the car or the brake or whatever it was, mechanism, and the effect was for the problem. So now how to overcome that problem? Supposing you try to neutralize the effect, you cannot because cause is still there. You try to improve the cause, it doesn't work out. Then what will you do? One thing one has to remember, that God Almighty has loved us. In His love, He has created us. He loves us. He is the Father who is the last word as far as the Father's affections are concerned. He is the greatest of greatest compassionate Father who wants you to enter into His kingdom and enjoy the bliss of His creation. He has not created you just to be wasted, to be frittered away, to be thrown away, to be in the hell all your lives. He has made you to respect you, to love you, and to give you what you deserve. The problem is we do not believe in ourselves. We do not love ourselves. How can we then love God who has created us? This is the biggest problem. And when we love ourselves, we become really selfish. And when we become selfish, we destroy ourselves more. Because that is like love-hate relationship, I say. That actually you hate yourself to be selfish. Because selfishness one can never enjoy. It is a joyless pursuit. That's why one has to understand that first and foremost understanding should come to us that God has created this universe, the whole thing for us. And He has created this beautiful instrument within us to have our second birth, to know Him, to know His greatness, to know His powers, and to be the master of those powers that He has. Any father or mother is always happy when he can give away all that he has. So this is why we do not rely on Him. We rely upon ourselves. But as long as we rely upon ourselves, we live in the realm of cause and effect. We cannot get out of it. We cannot jump out of it. To jump out of the realm of cause and effect, one must first of all know fully well that it is God's love. In any case, He is going to save us. He is going to look after. He is going to worry about us. Believe that He exists as a living God. It is very difficult for an ego-oriented society to accept such a concept that there is God still living when science says there is no God. Kundalini, wherever it will go, it will clean, it will nourish. This is one quality that we must understand, that it is not tarnishable, it cannot be spoiled, it cannot be ruined. Moreover, it cleanses, it nourishes. But because it thinks, it knows how to nourish you up to what point, how to go, how far to go, or it stops. But thinking is not vocal. It doesn't say anything. But when it goes around these chakras, it makes a sound. And these sounds are made because the movement of Kundalini through these chakras creates a non-percussion sound pass through these, creating sounds, and these sounds are then jotted down or heard by great saints and used in the phonetic language of Sanskrit. Now, this purifying fire within you, or the purifying force within you, or the power within you, goes and first of all enlightens our attention, which is in this part. As you see the green part, this is the attention is. But the movement of attention then starts moving in all directions. Now when your attention is enlightened, what we call, you become collectively conscious. But still, how do you go beyond cause and effect is the point. Now this Kundalini being pure, no cause can be attached to it. No cause whatsoever. So if you can enter into the Kundalini on the principle of it, no cause can get attached to it. That's how you go beyond cause and effect. But how do you enter into the Kundalini? That's the main point. Main problem is, how do we enter into the Kundalini? Supposing you are paying attention to me and I say pay attention to yourself, you cannot. Even if Kundalini rises, your attention is attracted inside, still you cannot pay attention inside. So how do you pay attention inside? Is through this enlightened attention. This attention which is enlightened has a power to take your attention inside to the Kundalini. And that's how you enter into the realm which is detached. That's like fortress. Nobody can enter in there. So when you are in thoughtless awareness, when you are not thinking, you are in your fortress, nobody can jump at you, nobody can trouble you, all the causes drop out. That is why it is necessary first to practice, to be in that thoughtless awareness through the practice of SahajaYoga to begin with. So that you learn how to enter into that state, how to enter into that state. But first and foremost thing is that your Kundalini must be awakened, then it must be allowed to move properly. You must cooperate, you must know how to do it and raise it so that you keep it at least, if not above, at least in the brain. But best thing is, if it comes out, then you have no tensions, no worries, because everything that you have passes into your attention. Attention touches the Kundalini because you are a realized soul and leaves it in the force of the Kundalini, in the current of Kundalini, and this current takes away everything that is out. And that's how you are cleared. This is a very, very simple way of explaining how you go beyond cause and effect. And this is what happens. But for that, it is necessary that you must learn how to enter into your Kundalini, how to keep your attention enlightened. Now it's very easy. Your attention gets involved into anything through your thoughts. Because when your consciousness entered into you, being the prismatic plane, like a prism, your attention has gone out. Now to keep this attention detached, you have to make it a pure attention. To begin with, you must try to put attention inside, to be a witness, try to be a witness. But how? How will you know that you are a witness? You have to be in thoughtless awareness. When you are in thoughtless awareness, then what happens? That you are detached. You are seeing everything. Kundalini is the only way you can go into thoughtless awareness. Your attention can go. Now, for us today to decide, first of all in our hearts, that we'll take to peaceful methods. When we are traveling, we'll be taking to peaceful methods. Anybody who is trying to provoke you or trying to create a problem or divide you on any issue whatsoever, run away from that person as fast as possible. Anybody who talks of peace, the peacemakers, stick on to that person. then only you will understand that you are also getting peace. Here you have come to get peace, not to create problems or to listen to your problems, but to get to peace. Peace is a nature or is the quality of your spirit. So once you jump onto your peace, somehow what happens that you go beyond the cause and the effect. You are beyond the cause and the effect. So the cause disappears and the effect also disappears. So today we all have come here to worship the peace, the within and the without. Let us be peaceful people. Let us not join groups who hate, who talk vague, who want to hate one person, want to create a group who says we the Americans or we the this. Just in SahajaYoga, you must learn from people who have advanced, who have very much progressed. So the cause was the car or the brake or whatever it was, mechanism, and the effect was for the problem. So now how to overcome that problem? Supposing you try to neutralize the effect, you cannot because cause is still there. You try to improve the cause, it doesn't work out. Then what you do? So the easiest thing is to cross the cause, to ascend over, to go beyond the cause. So the cause does not exist for you, so the effect does not exist. As long as the cause exists in your attention, the effect will be there. So what did she do? She just prayed to me. Just thought of me that Mother, now it's my last chance. That's all. So the cause disappeared. Because you go beyond it. And the effect also disappeared and she was surprised. So you must ascend away from the cause. Now a problem. My wife is like this, my husband like this, my family life like this, surgeries are like this, all kinds of things are there. It's an effect. Now what's the cause? Is such and such person. Alright. Now how do you get negation of the cause? Surrender. You have the right to do that. You have a knack to do it. You can do it. You are capable of it. You are entitled to do it. But you don't do it, you forget. You just forget. If you surrender that cause, effects will go away. But that is the thing at that time to remember, that you have to ascend, to go beyond the cause is the best way to get rid of it. But that emergency has to come. Human beings are such that unless and until they are put into tight corners, they never do that. Once they are in a tight corner, then they do it. That is the reason why people try to take ascetic life. Because if you are an ascetic, then you are in a tight corner. But how do we achieve it otherwise without getting tired? Only way is meditation. Everybody must meditate is the point. If you do not meditate, you can continue for a while. You may be alright for a while, for 2 months, maybe 2 years, but then you drop. Many people think, oh, what's the need to meditate? You see, it's alright. If you don't meditate, it doesn't matter. It's not. Because in meditation only you grow. In emergency you suddenly grow, no doubt. I mean, you just like a jack in the box, just come up with a spring. But if you have to have a continuous growth, then you must meditate, allow the thought after thoughts coming, and then allow them to subside, because you rise into the state of thoughtless awareness, and in that thoughtless awareness you grow. And you grow in your detachment to the cause of all the effects. If there is no cause, there is no effect. But this is the problem with us, is that we do not meditate normally. Only when it comes to absolute last point, now you have to fall in the well, then we think of it. Maybe at that moment you are helped, but you don't grow. Growth can only come if you meditate. That is one very important part, is complete help to people who meditate. In the normal life, how do we grow? If we have no oxygen, we cannot grow. We have to have sufficient oxygen, we have to have sufficient food, we have to have all these things. But in spirituality, you grow through meditation. There is no way out. Those who think they can grow are bumptious. Actually bumptious people. Because they can talk a lot about SahajaYoga. I've seen people who talk too much about SahajaYoga. They can give big lectures, this, that, but have no vibrations at all. They can't do any work for SahajaYoga. They are not collective, they have no sense to be collective. All kinds of problems. But the growth is to be achieved through meditation. That is one part. That is, we can say, is the worship, is the puja. Then you don't have to give up anything, you just become detached. Detached from the cause itself. May God bless you.